see being like women in such like big roles in the police force? Because like it's like stereotypical that like men, isn't it, that like a police?
Well, about 40% of Merseyside police now is female police staff and police officers. So really positive change.
Who is or who was like your biggest inspiration? Or like what was like when you were younger? Or like even now?
I listened to a police detective do a presentation about an investigation she had led as a chief inspector many years ago, and I always remember what she said and how devoted and committed she was to the family to solve the crime.
What do you get from the chippy?
Well, if it's Chinese, I get chicken fried rice, chips and curry sauce.
Well, I actually
Same order every week.
Yeah, salt and pepper chicken wings with special fried rice, chips and curry sauce, but not on my own. I'd share that.
Welcome to KidsKast, and today we've got Scarlett, Avery, and we're with
Maria and Rachel.
Okay, so I'm Rachel. I am a detective superintendent for Merseyside Police. I work with Maria and a team based at Liverpool City Centre, and I've been in the police for 27 years now. When I was 14, I went for my work experience through school to be in the police at Merseyside, and that's a long time ago now, but 27 years on, I'm still in the police and love the role and what we do.
What about you?
So I'm also in the police. I'm a chief inspector, so Rachel's my boss. She's nice, so that's okay. I've been in the police for 19 years. I work in the same place, so we work in, I don't know if you've seen the new police headquarters. Well, you've ever driven past it in town, yeah. So we both work there. We work in a department called prevention. So there's lots of different departments in that. But what we're trying to do is to prevent crime from happening, prevent people from being victims, and hopefully that we have less offenders as well. So trying to prevent harm for the communities in Merseyside.
What would you think the hardest arrest would ever be?
I think sometimes the hardest arrest is someone who is violent, trying to control them and detain them, isn't it? But actually these kind of people, if they're committed a crime, need to be arrested, so that's what our job is.
What do you think of the youth of Liverpool today?
I think they're amazing, aren't they? Yeah, there are a younger generation like yourselves. As always, there's good kids and there's some kids who are not so good, are they? But we're there as police officers to safeguard all children, whatever age and however good or bad they behave.
If you had one question for like young kids, what would it be? Like if they was doing something bad, like being violent to people or bullying, what would like your message be to them?
But I think that's two questions really, isn't it? So the first bit of what questions would we have? So, you know, I'm really interested in listening to young people. So part of my job is called community engagement. So a lot of that we do work with a lot of young people as well, and part of that we have what we call an independent advisory group. So we try and ask young people. So instead of adults saying this is what young people think, I'm really interested to know what do young people think. So do you feel safe? Well, what do you think about the police? You know, there's a lot of things that you might see on the news or in the newspapers. What worries you? What do you think that police can do better? So for me, that's what I'm really interested in, you know, in terms of, like you said, if someone's being violent or someone's bullying, you know, we have to deal with that situation at the time and see what we can do. And again, like as I said, we work in prevention. We don't just see that someone might have done something wrong. We want to know why they've done it. So what can we do to try and stop that from getting any worse? What's going on in that young person's life that we can try and help them for it to stop getting worse, for it to, you know, escalate, so it doesn't get any worse.
What would your message be? Your message?
To who?
to young people?
In general, that, you know, us as the police are here to help you. Again, we want to know what's happening, what's important. So my message would be I really want to know what's important to the young people of Merseyside.
And for me, it's about, I want you to trust the police.
Yeah.
So if you need to speak to someone, then a police officer is someone you can trust to go and speak to, and that's our core role, isn't it? As a police officer, I join to help people, whether they're children or adults.
Who is or who was like your biggest inspiration? Or like what was like when you were younger? Or like even now?
I listened to a police detective do a presentation about an investigation she had led as a chief inspector many years ago, and I always remember what she said and how devoted and committed she was to the family to solve the crime. And her presentation blew me out of the water. It was amazing, and I thought that's what I would like to do one day, to help a family get them some justice, which is what she did, but it was a long road. And I thought, as a female senior police officer, I just thought inspirational.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know, it's hard to think of one person who's been an inspiration. There's lots of different people, I think, throughout my life that have been an inspiration. My uncle was in the police, so I really looked up to him when I was a child. He wasn't in Merseyside, he was down south, but he's probably one of the reasons that I joined the police. I, again, just wanted to help people, so that was probably my motivation, not my inspiration, but my motivation to join the police was to help people.
Did you always want to be a police officer when you were younger?
It's something I've always been interested in. So I went to college, and when I was finished college, I did actually get application forms to join the police. But my dad persuaded me to go to university, so I did, and then I changed my mind. I thought I wanted to be a solicitor, but then that want to help people, I think, was the biggest decision that I made to join the police, really.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood, it was good. I'm the eldest. I've got 2 younger brothers. It was good, but you know, I didn't have lots of money. You know, I'm probably from an area where there was probably lots of crime. So you know, I've probably seen, you know, experienced things when you know, I've probably been aware of things when I was a kid, but I think one of the big things is that I've always been dead honest. And when I was a kid, I've got a funny story. Well, not a funny story, but I went swimming, and this is how honest I was, you'll laugh. And I put my money in to get a chocolate bar after I'd come swimming. 2 chocolate bars fell out, and I went straight to the woman and said, "Excuse me, I've only paid for 1 and 2 chocolate bars to come out." And the woman was so shocked that I'd been that honest. And I was shocked that she was shocked, probably because I was really honest. So I think that's just always been part of me, really, as a child.
Your childhood like?
Similar, really. We didn't have loads of money. I've got a younger brother. Didn't go abroad until we were in our teenage years. Went to school. Had a nice childhood growing up in terms of friendship groups. Always wanted to be in the police since I was as young as you are now. Wanted to be in the police, and I don't know why, because no one else in the family is like that. But as a kid, I used to read lots of books, Famous Five, and it was always about mysteries and intrigue. So it's probably come from that, and then school, yeah. So I've just kept to my dream, really, and that's what followed.
Is it easy being like women in such like big roles in the police force? Because like it's like stereotypical that like men, isn't it, that like a police?
Well, about 40% of Merseyside Police now is female police staff and police officers. So really positive change. it's a difficult because we're in roles of supervision and demand is high, but actually it's so rewarding. We've got fantastic male colleagues and female colleagues across police officers and police staff, haven't we? So it is hard work, but I think that comes with policing in general.
Yeah. Truthfully, what is it like being a police officer?
I love it. Where else could you go and get such a variety of roles? So, for example, I've investigated firearms, murders. I'm in community engagement. I've dealt with child protection, domestic abuse. I'm a force negotiator, so I help people in crisis. So the roles that we've done in our service, both of us are very varied. And you've got colleagues. I was with colleagues this morning who are in matrix, so they're dealing with your firearms frontline and public order. Great opportunities for females in policing, so really interesting and varied, isn't it?
Yeah.
What changed from when you was a kid to present day?
Social media, probably. So when I first joined the police, didn't have a mobile phone. Now we pick up crime investigations. One of the major considerations for us now is social media and what is circulated in terms of what we're investigating or what we're dealing with, and public scrutiny as well. So if something takes place in the community, a lot of the time it's on social media before the police get to find out about it. So it's responding, and that's the biggest change for me I've seen.
Yeah, that's a massive change, and I imagine for young people like yourselves, it brings with it a lot of challenges that we didn't have when we were a child, and also, that's one thing that's got positives and it's got negatives as well, and I think you've just got to be careful with social media, but as I said, there's benefits. I know you talked about being a woman in the police. I think society's changed a lot as well, so I think it's brilliant. It's International Women's Day today that's recognised, and I think women are treated as an equal in the police. I never feel that I can't do the same as my male colleagues. If anything, we're probably given more opportunity to progress, more support, I would say, and we are really, really valued, I would say.
Would you like to join the police?
No, I want to be an actress.
An actress, wow.
I'm in Lipper.
Right, brilliant.
From arts.
What about yourself?
I don't know what I want to be when I'm older.
And that's not a bad thing, is it? Because I was so focused on being in the police, probably disregarded every other option. So it's good to keep your options open. What about you?
I want to be a footballer.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Are you a red or a blue?
A red.
Red.
You play football then?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Would there be anything that would stop you from wanting to join the police?
No, not really.
No. You?
Just like the time and the effort,
Everything takes time and effort, doesn't it?
that's
You'd
like-
be an actress will be the same, wouldn't it?
that's like something that say you were saying, that's the case to a case, and it'd also be horrible if you'd feel like they're guilty if you couldn't sort it out for them, and you'd feel horrible for them, but there's no other really doubt of it.
You?
Why wouldn't you want to be a police?
I would want to be a police, but I wouldn't. I don't know why I wouldn't want to be in it.
What do you think of the police in Merseyside?
I think they help people a lot, and if there's something going on, they're always there to support you.
That's good, and that's what our aim is, isn't it? To help people and support them.
Yeah, I think the same, because they're just always there, and you can even go out, you can got the smallest problem that you can't get off your mind, you can't always go, we get told that all the time.
We're the same this time.
Is it easy for being such big roles as the police?
It comes with a lot of responsibility, I would say. So it's not easy, but it's rewarding, as we've said. So, I like, not only is it rewarding being in the police, but it's a rewarding being, a manager and seeing what your staff do and what can be achieved. And that to me is really rewarding, but as I said, it comes with a lot of responsibility as well.
Do you like doing it in your own time?
Like, do you watch Netflix or like telly? And if so, what are you watching now?
I like watching the telly. I've got 2 kids, so it's the only thing that I have time to do really is watching the telly. Netflix. I have just finished something. I can't even remember what I've just finished, but I've actually just watched Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah. So I really like that.
Season 2 is coming out.
I know, yeah. Well, my son watched it with us and he really enjoyed it. But yeah,
I don't watch loads of telly. I'm into music.
Oh, I love music.
What music do you like?
Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, I don't mind Taylor Swift.
I like Taylor Swift and I like Coldplay as well.
Did you get tickets for Coldplay?
No, but me and my mum were trying to. Me and my sister and my mum were going to try and get them, but you could not get them.
We tried and got booted out of the online call thing. Yeah.
We don't know, like, that's what we got booted out by Taylor Swift as well.
Ah, right. No, so I don't watch loads of telly. I've got 2 kids who are teenagers, similar ages to yourself, so it's football and dance for me to do the drop-offs and watch them do their activities. So, yeah.
If you could change something in your life, what would you change?
Oh, good question, that. Do you know what I think I'd do? I think I'd be young again. Because it goes so quick.
What's your biggest achievement? Like, or if you've got anything that you want to achieve?
My biggest achievement is my 2 kids. Absolutely, over everything, and they've been brought up as I've had a policing career, which has been really difficult. So that's what I'm most proud of.
What about you?
Probably the same. You know, I've got 2 young children. It's hard. Like when you say, is it hard to be in this position in the police? It's hard to be in our position and have a family and be there everywhere. But yeah, that is definitely.
Do you have like different shifts every day? So like you could start from in the morning to the night, or from the night into the morning?
No, we're in a day role generally now, aren't we? As in, you know, Monday to Friday, but I do a lot of on-call, so I get called in the night. Sometimes if it's a crisis, so if someone's at crisis point, I'll go out and with the team and we'll speak to people. Or it might be a authorisation because of our rank. We have particular powers, so we'll authorise. So I'll get up and I'll go on my laptop and do an authority, and then it's back to bed. So it's that kind of thing for me now.
What's something on your bucket list, like something that you've always wanted to do?
Ooh, that's a good question. Can you have you got something you?
Just I love travelling, so there's loads of places that are on my bucket list.
Like travel around the world.
Yeah, and that's probably when you said about one thing you change. Probably one thing I'd change about my life journey is I went to uni and I wanted to join the police as soon as I could. I would have took a bit of time and went travelling, and I've been lucky enough to go to travel, but not but that would be my dream.
Hey, so we're going to let some others come and speak to you, so it's nice for you answering our questions and asking us questions as well. So thanks.
No, you're very welcome. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
My name's Elliot. Go on.
Oh yeah, my name's Lewis.
My name's Ellie.
So I'm Rachel. Rachel Wilson, Detective Superintendent for Merseyside Police. I work with Maria and we're based at the city centre. We currently work in prevention, which is a big team across Merseyside Police which deals with community engagements, missing persons team, offender management, safer schools officers, our special constabulary, so lots of different roles within Merseyside. I've been a police officer for 27 years this year. Still love the job because we get opportunities to do lots of different things, lots of different roles. So it's a really good career and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
So I'm Maria Hoogendyk. I'm a chief inspector, so Rachel's my boss. I can't even want to say that. So obviously I work in the same department in the city centre. I've been in the police for 19 years. And obviously I enjoy it as well. I've done a number of different roles, all in uniform. Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions for you. If you had one message for young people today, what would it be?
My message to young people is that I would like to know what your issues are, what you think of the police. We want you to trust us. But mostly the biggest thing that's important to me is that I want to know what your issues are and what we can do to help you with them.
Yeah.
For me as well, I'm big on you trusting us, but also you as children having the confidence to say no to things.
Yeah.
So no in terms of do not get involved in criminality, do not get involved in bullying, so that kind of thing. So being the bigger person to say no, I'm not getting involved in that. What do you think of the police?
I think they just help the community really good, yeah. I think they really put bad people behind bars, that's good, isn't it? Keep us safe.
And that's one of the reasons I joined, to put the baddies behind bars.
Yeah, to keep the kids safe and that, innit? Nice.
Yeah. Have you had any interaction with police officers through your school or?
Yeah, through school.
Have
Is
you
it
got a
positive?
schools officer in school?
Pardon?
Do you have a police officer in your school?
Yeah. They come in like every so often and we all get brought into the hall and talk about like knife crime and all that and like why you shouldn't carry a knife.
And that's a really important message, isn't it?
Yeah.
Please do not carry a knife. And that's what I say about having the confidence to say no, is to say no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because we want to keep kids safe.
What do you think of the Liverpool youth right now?
You know, I think there's some brilliant kids, isn't it? Full of ideas, enthusiastic, keeping us busy, aren't they, in good ways. Really keen to engage with children like yourself, so you start to trust us and build them relationships with your safer schools officer.
Yeah.
But people like Maria and I, who are police officers, as well as there's 7,000 Merseyside police officers, police staff, who are all doing our bit to try and keep Merseyside safer for the communities. Oh, so
What was your favourite subject then in school?
favourite subject, PE.
PE?
Yeah.
What about you?
English. I used to love reading, and I liked English in school and history.
Okay, so my school report always said I got distracted and spoke too much, which is not a bad thing now because police is all about talking to people, isn't it? And listening. Yeah. So what about you? What's your favourite subject?
PE, because we just got over with doing dance, but now we do gymnastics. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you?
Mine's probably between maths and science, because I want to be a scientist when I'm older, and I know that'll really help me achieve my dreams on it. So between maths and science, yeah, between them, one of them.
Brilliant.
For me, it's between PE and English because I really like writing and reading, but then on the other side of it, I'm really like athletic. I'm good at sports.
What's your favourite sport then?
Football,
Right. Are you a red or a blue?
red, all day.
Right.
What about you? Do you like
Red.
football?
Yeah, I'm a red.
You?
I'm a red.
In fact,
Sports,
that's what I've seen you interviewing Klopp.
No, it's not. It's not.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I believe that we've got a famous young person sat on the other side today, and you've been on a few news channels. So what was that about?
ITV and BBC News have been on. We were in a museum, and I had a favourite art piece, and I had to describe like what it was and stuff like that. And it was on ITV and BBC News, and I was just there to describe and all, and look at all the expensive paintings, and they were really good. They were really good, yeah.
Oh.
I've got an art degree.
Have you?
I did graphic design, yeah, so I used to love art at school. Still preferred PE, I think, 'cause I like the team sport, but so do you like art?
Depends what it is. really in art, but I do like in general, yeah, I do like art.
Right.
What about
With
you?
me, I like art, yeah, but I haven't got the patience for it. Like, I can't take. I'll just have to complete a drawing in like 10 minutes. I can't sit there for like hours and do a drawing.
Yeah. What are the biggest issues in Liverpool for you right now that you're dealing with or stuff like that?
I think trust and confidence in policing nationally is a major issue. So at Merseyside Police, we're working really hard with our communities to try and rebuild that trust and confidence. So you will feel that we will deal with things appropriately, that we know we're really professional and care about what we do and how we do it. And that's one of the biggest issues for Merseyside Police at the minute.
Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely agree. And that trust and confidence in young people, that's really, really important to us. You know, you asked before about what we think of young people, and you're the next generation, aren't you? You're the ones who will be us in a few years. But you know, so we need to make sure that you know, you feel safe, that you know, we know what's happening with young people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you doing to try and help the community get better?
Okay, so lots of things like this, meeting with young people. So for example, today I've been to a high school this morning, speaking with older children in a girls' school to again talk about the police and what a fantastic role and things we do. And then this afternoon, Maria and I have been talking with some of our community groups, so Blackburn House, who else did we have?
Powerful Beyond Measure,
Our community engagement colleagues.
yeah.
And so it's just about making the networks and telling people actually what we're here to do and how we can help each other. So just making communities more resilient.
And at one of my departments I've got is the community engagement unit. So a big part of our role is to improve that trust and confidence with the communities. So with lots of different communities, so that there'll be communities that might not trust the police, communities that there might be reasons why, you know, they might not be from this country, they might have been victims before. So we engage with lots of different groups, different communities, and listen to what their issues are so we can try and improve what we do to improve those issues. Another thing that we do is about public scrutiny, it's called. So we have meetings every month where we look at, you know, what stop search is. So you know that there's a power that police have that they can search individuals for certain reasons. So we look at how the police do that, and we get members of the public to view footage, and then they give their opinion on that interaction with the member of the public, and then we use that information to try and improve training or improve what we do. So we're listening to what the public say about what we do. We also do that for use of force too. So if there's been an arrest, for example, and there's had to be force used, so you know, we've had to put handcuffs on, we've had to restrain someone, we show videos to the public of that as well, and then they can give their opinion on that as well. And there's been a number of changes in training and in our procedures based on what the public have said. And again, that builds that trust and confidence with the community, that we're honest, we're open about what we do, but also that we want to make a difference and we are listening to what people say.
And I think that goes hand in hand with the other part of policing, which is about getting the baddies. Yeah. So I know lots of teams across Merseyside Police talk about being relentless, so we don't give up on trying to trace and ensure that those who are causing harm to people across Merseyside and communities are dealt with. So we know you'll see high visibility patrols or people getting arrested because there's an allegation they've done something wrong, and then you'll see us going through the court process where we're trying to show juries this is what we've investigated and this is where we're at, and hopefully we get that conviction at the end of the trial. So really important about that pursue element in terms of we want to support and reassure our communities, but actually pursue and protect the people who we need to safeguard.
Did you ever expect yourself to like be a police officer in your childhood?
I did. I've always wanted to be in the police since a young kid, yes. So I've always wanted to be in the police. So.
Did you? Or did it just come?
No, I didn't want to be in the police probably when I was a young child, but when I was teenager, say, you know, it was something that interested me. My uncle was in the police, so I used to talk to him about it. So it's definitely something that I wanted to do. I suppose I wanted to work somewhere where I would help people, and that's probably what made me decide to be in the police.
What do you fancy doing?
I'm a scientist. Yeah. What you?
I want to be a footballer, and I hope I achieve my goals. But like, if I'm never a footballer, I'd really like to be like what are they called? An archaeologist.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I want to be a footballer as well.
There's lots of aspiring footballers, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I don't become a footballer, I want to be a rapper.
A rapper?
A rapper. I thought you said robber. A rapper. That's cool, isn't it?
What's changed from when you were a kid to this day?
So we were asked this before by some of your mates who came in, and I think social media is the biggest thing. We didn't have mobile phones when I was your age. Didn't get my first mobile phone till I was mid-20s. Yeah, look how lucky you are. You got your own phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Are you on
imagine
social
myself
media?
without one. Yeah.
You're lost without it.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah. So we didn't have all that when we were younger. So different challenges, wasn't it? But we would go out and knock for our mates, and we'd be told to get in for 6, so we'd have a watch and we'd probably get in late. But we weren't constantly on our phones. I was out playing sport and footy with the kids on the estate where I live, sort of thing. So that's quite nice to have that freedom, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice one for sitting down with us. More people coming in now. Thanks for answering our questions, and thank you.
You are very welcome. We've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and it was lovely to meet you.
Hi, my name's Shannon, and this is Morgan.
So why did you want us to come in today to speak to you? What kind of things you're thinking about asking us?
Why did you want to be a police officer?
I wanted to help people, and I wanted to put the baddies in jail, if I'm honest. That's why I joined.
So something that I've always been interested in. I wanted to help people as well. I went to university, and in university I studied law, and when I was studying law, you had to pick different subjects to look at, and one of them was child protection. So it was all about investigations into child protection, and when I was studying that, I got really interested in the police side of it, and that's probably what pushed me to join the police instead of being a solicitor or something like that.
If you had one message for young people today, what would it be?
So I'm just looking at the wall there, and there's some posters that I don't know if yourselves have done them, but about knife crime. I think one of the messages, we've talked about some other things with your friends who've interviewed us before, but it's about please do not carry a knife, and have the confidence to say absolutely not, no, in regards to any criminality. But just looking at the posters on the wall, it's a really important message I would want to get home, having dealt with families whose lives have been devastated by their families being victims of knife crime, and it is devastating, the consequences that are left behind. So I would say please do not carry a knife.
We've discussed this one a few times, but I think another thing that we've discussed is about around social media, and probably what's so different for you too than it was when we were young is social media and the challenges that come with that as well, and the challenges for being a young person with social media about. So just be really, really careful when you are on social media and when you are online. You know, think about who you can trust. You know, you can always trust the police. You know, have that safe person who you can talk to, not just about things that happen on social media, but if there's anything that's worrying you or concerning, yeah, you know, you make sure that you tell someone.
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you're older?
Well, I want to work with like babies in a nursery because I want to do what my sister's done, because like she got bullied and then she got through it, and then she was a solicitor, and then she didn't get treated very well in the solicitors, so she went and worked with children and she's absolutely loving it.
And that's amazing, isn't it? You've got to be happy, isn't it, in what you do?
Yeah.
How about you?
Hair and beauty. Like, to be honest, I've always really wanted to do it, but I don't know why. Like,
And that's like me in the police. I never know why, really, I wanted to do it, but just always been in me to be a police officer. But there's lots of opportunities now at college and things, isn't there, after school in terms of beauty? So
what is, in your opinions, obviously, what do you think's the biggest challenge for the police? What do you think we should be focusing on? Do you know? Anything, so it's whatever you think.
I think knife crime, like you have said, and I think shootings and mental people that need help and stuff like that.
Okay, and we deal with all them things.
Yeah.
the same as Morgan.
Do you think kids today get a bit of a hard time?
The feedback is mainly positive, but there are times when I know police officers don't get good press because they have given kids a hard time, and that's about thinking about how we've behaved with the young person, isn't it? And this is why Maria talked about before about some public scrutiny, where we ask people to look at how we deal with young people and adults, and could we have done it better? And there are occasions where we actually could have done it better. But that's where we try and learn and educate our police officers and police staff about how they deal with kids, about if we stop you on the street, what we're stopping you for. So we explain to you why you've been stopped. We've got powers, as Maria said, to stop and search people, but actually you need to make sure their powers are used appropriately and in the right circumstances, because that's how then we gain your trust and your confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's powers there to be used. So if we're going to tackle things like knife crime and shootings in Merseyside, we need to use our police powers, but they need to be used effectively and in the proper way. So that's what we're really keen to do.
And again, this is why we're doing this today, and why we try and talk to young people to find out what affects you. I think that's something that we definitely we're trying to improve, but something that can be improved is to really listen to you, because like I said before, social media wasn't around when we were young. We don't know what it's like to be a young person. You know what it's like to be a young person.
Yeah.
And I said it before, the young people, you're the adults of the future, aren't you? So we need to work with you.
Why do you get such a hard time with kids?
I think there has been internationally and nationally some really horrendous cases where police officers have are criminals. The murder of Sarah Everard, murder of George Floyd, sentencing of David Carrick for horrendous crimes, and they've been serving police officers. That's given our reputation a massive knock. But actually 99% of police officers are really good, work hard police officers who want to do the best for their communities. Unfortunately, actions of minority of police officers has a massive impact on policing nationally. So I think that's for me.
Yeah, definitely. And again, that's social media as well. So, you know, people can upload videos or pictures, and the comments that people put on those videos or pictures are not always true. So, you know, an incident could be happening, someone puts a picture on, and people make their minds up straight away about what's happening. And sometimes that's not very helpful for us, because people then make their own mind up instead of listening to facts. So that affects how people see the police. Sometimes it's easy to take a video of a tiny bit of an incident rather than the whole incident, and then it gives people the wrong impression of what's happened. So that can be really difficult for us as well.
I think what we see is a lot of people only come into the contact with the police in crisis situations, or when they're down 999, or when they're locked up. And actually, we want to change that perception of policing. We're not always going to be there for the crisis. It's about this kind of thing, isn't it, where we're talking to you on a one-to-one. You know, I'm not only a police officer, I'm a mum with 2 kids similar age to yourself. So, you know, we're trying to, like, say we're human, and though this is our day job, we're just like, you know, general population of Merseyside, aren't we, in terms of, you know, morally we've got our what's right and what's wrong. Our job, we know, as police officers is to safeguard, to look after young people, to protect people, but actually to make sure we put offenders in jail as well for things they've done wrong.
Do you watch Netflix?
No, do you know what? I don't watch loads of telly. I'm into music more. So you said before you watched Wednesday.
Oh yeah, and I've just watched Wednesday. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
Did you like it?
My brother just danced to it where it says something about I can dance with my head, that, and he actually loves it.
All right. What do you watch?
Like the new Outer Banks.
Oh, I've seen that pop up on Netflix.
the
I've not watched it,
series.
but is it good? Is it?
Yeah, it's actually interesting.
All right.
And I do like crime dramas as well, sadly. But what I don't like is like the reality TV shows of the police, you know, like the Police 999, you know, the driving ones and stuff like that. I don't like watching them, but I do like a good crime drama.
Yeah, like documentaries. I like.
Oh yeah, I don't mind a documentary as well.
What about you?
I just watch a bit of anything really. Yeah. Depends how I feel.
Do you listen to music?
Yeah.
Yeah, gives
you
me good
into?
vibes.
Yeah. I've always got music on. I've always got my earpods in. Yeah.
I have an Alexa though, and the kids just take over it and put lots of random songs on, so I have to listen to what they want to listen to. But
What do you get from the chippy?
Well, if it's Chinese, I get chicken fried rice, chips and curry sauce.
well, I actually
Same
like
order every week. Yeah.
salt and pepper chicken wings with special fried rice, chips and curry sauce, but not on my own. I'd share that.
What about you?
Salt and pepper chicken with chips, fried rice and barbecue sauce.
Oh, similar.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper chicken, fried rice, salt and pepper chips.
So you're making me feel hungry now,
Yeah,
saying
we
all
see
that.
we could all share a takeaway here, couldn't we?
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
need a few different things.
What's your favourite subject in school?
That's a hard question.
What's your least favourite subject at school then?
I know my favourite. It's
go on.
supposed to be English because I'm a good writer and I can do poems.
Oh, right, okay. Can you tell us any poems now?
Can't think of one.
No. Put you on the spot.
My favourite lesson is probably art,
All right, okay.
because it's just easy and yeah.
Can I ask one question? So, you know, it's International Women's Day today.
Yeah.
Have you got an inspirational woman who you look up to? Now, you mentioned your sister before, which was lovely. So that's obviously someone you look up to, but maybe anyone else who you look up to?
My
Or...
mum and my sister.
That's lovely.
Yeah,
That's
like I would probably say Tori and my sister. Because with Tori, I could tell her anything and she would just sit there and listen. And then my sister, because of what she's did in life.
That's really lovely. So you got someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about your mum and your sister?
Like, I can actually speak to my mum and my sister, like, they listen, they just sit and listen to me. And then they support me, like, through anything.
That's really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. We've learned a lot and it was very nice to have you in today.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed it. The questions we've been asked have been good, haven't they? Varied.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to come in and meet you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.